This is going to be another airsoft story. It happened 2012. I was at a location that no longer does open plays, but it was a huge paintball park, and they do open plays. And at this particular open play, there was a lot of people. And this was right after I got a particular weapon, my semi-only SVD. I'm going to show a picture of it, well, me with it, using it. At this particular open play, there was a couple other guys with me, but the story is on this, that I got the gun off another guy who bought it, and it was just too long for him, this and that. He weathered it a little bit, made it look really cool. He only bought an extra mag for it, so he had 2 mags, and they were only like 60 rounds. So, you know, he had 120 rounds as a sniper, and he wasn't very good with it. This gun out of the box was shooting like 450 with 2 O's. So, you know, I was trying to use it with 2 8s. So it was still over the 400 mark, so I was considered a sniper, had a 100-foot engagement, had a pistol, whole 9 yards. On this particular rig, I had a pistol, but I don't know if I had it on the front or on the side. I can't remember offhand. But we went to this game, and I actually put the Russian PSOP scope on it and the whole 9 yards. I was shooting with it, and I was having a fantastic time. I just looked at the picture, and this is before I put the PSOP scope on it. I had a 3 to 9 scope on here, 3 to 9 by 40 scope, and I was having a blast with it because I would set it up to like 6 when I saw somebody, just to make sure that they were there, then put it back to 3 and then shoot at them. This particular shot that I showed in the beginning of the video, there was a guy taking pictures there for skirmish, and he happened to see me set up on the tree like that, and he took a picture of me, and he sent it to me. It was fantastic. But the whole day was like this. I was trying to snipe, and I would shoot these guys, and the gun was very good, but not good enough. You know, shooting at just a little over 400. I think it was like 410 with 2 8s. Long barrel. They really sailed out there quite a ways. It was really good, but I wasn't fast enough. I remember a friend on the other team, he had a helmet on, and he was right near a building, the side of the building. He kept sticking his head out, and I kept shooting. And the one time he stuck his head out, I shot and went right by his helmet. And he said to me later, he said, "Boy, I heard that go whizzing right by my helmet." He said, "I heard it hitting the side of the building and hitting other trees behind me." And he said, "When that whizzed by my helmet," he said, "that's it. I'm not sticking my head out at her anymore." But I had a lot of fun with that. Right after that, well, not right after that. I used it for a little bit after that. But after that, the gearbox that was in there broke. And I'm like trying to contact S&T, trying to find out if I can get a gearbox. Contacted Echo One and bought one of their CSR gearboxes. And I put all the gears from the original one in that gearbox. And it had bushings in it. I put the bushings in the Echo One gearbox, all the gears in there, the nozzle, the whole 9 yards. I put in there. Okay. Worked like a champ. I even bought a new piston for it because the one that was in there was getting kind of worn. It was plastic teeth. I thought it ain't going to last too long. So I bought an Echo One CSR piston for it. And I used the original piston head on it. And it was working great. So I said, do I want to leave the spring in there? Or do I want to try to give it a little bit more snot? So it was using a regular AG spring, but I had a long spring guide and the whole 9 yards. It was like an elongated spring. It was a special spring. That's what it was. It was a special spring. So I went on the Echo One site, and they had the spring and a spring guide upgrade kit. And I thought, well, I don't need the spring guide. And then I'm thinking, yeah, what if the spring's different diameter or something like that? I want to get that. So I got the spring guide and the spring, and it was a good thing I did because it didn't fit on my old spring guide. So I put that in the gun, and I'm shooting, and chrono, and I'm shooting like 505 with 2 5s. You know, so I was like 2.9 joules or something like that. I was over the 500 limit. So I'm like, oh, maybe it'll settle in. Maybe it'll settle in. Well, yeah, it did not settle in. Well, see, the thing of it is, I put a new bucking in it. I put a new barrel in it. I put the new spring in it. I put a whole bunch of stuff into it. And between the bucking, the barrel, and then the upgraded spring, if I had not done the bucking and barrel, or maybe just not the barrel, if I had not done the barrel, maybe it would have been shooting under 500. I would have been golden. But a combination of the new Type 4 barrel, the bucking, and the seals I did on everything, I made sure everything was tight, a good air seal. That's why I was shooting 505. And that sucker, right up until when I sold it, was shooting right at the 500 mark. I think when I actually sold it, it was just creeping at like 500 FPS. It would go 500, 499, 500, 499. So it was like 2.81, 2.83, or 2.81, 2.80, 2.79. It was right there on that 2.81 joule limit, which is 500 with 2.5. I sold it to the guy, and he used it, and then I think 2 weeks later, he contacted me. You want to trade back? Because he traded me SSG 24. Because I figured the SVD was a little too long and heavy for me. The SSG 24 was just about as heavy, and I ended up selling that as well. I told him, yeah, it's already gone, buddy. I can't help it. I sold it. And he said, oh, okay. And then he eventually sold that rifle to somebody else. But I had a whole kit for it. I bought a actual real steel plate carrier for it. I had like 6 mags. It held 5. I had 1 for the gun. And I had a little Russian drop pouch. And I had the little PPK pistol on the front here that I could draw out. It was only 8 rounds, so it was kind of tight to hit people. Which brings me to a second story with the SVD. I'm using it, and at the one game, the guy's coming at me, and he's real close, so I can't shoot him. This is before the upgrades. So it wasn't that high, over 400. But the PPK, that only shot like 220, 230. So I got 8 shots, and a bang, 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 bang. All 8 shots I put into him, and he finally calls a hit. And I remember I get hit almost immediately after that because everybody sees me shooting and they got me. And I told the guy that was standing there, I said, you know, I shot you 8 times with this, and I'm showing him the pistol. Oh, I hardly felt it. Well, if he hardly felt it, it means he felt it. So I don't know how many BBs he felt and didn't call. But I had such a good time with that rifle. And from time to time, I think about it that, wow, that probably would be a real cool rifle now. Because I did a lot of work on it after that. After I got the new gearbox in it and everything like that, and was shooting like that, I put the PSOP scope on it, direct Russian scope, replica. I put the replica bipod on the front. I got a replica sling for it. I mean, I went the full SVD route. I bought everything for it. And I remember when I sold the whole kit for it, the guy said, oh, I was just going to put these in my M4 pouches. And I'm like, yeah, I bought a $90 rig, but, you know, you want to use your regular M4 pouches, that's fine. It was a lot of fun to use. I miss it. I don't think I could use it now. I wouldn't have the strength to do it, but it was a lot of fun when I was doing it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and guys like this story. As always, you guys have a good day.